in a relationship, thought, which means language, is there only kind of to express what you feel, almost what you feel, and what you want to feel. And often just by doing this, well, things kind of find a way to make that happen. So yeah, definitely, I think learn to be with your sensation as they are in the moment, within yourself. And in relationship, the beauty and the gifts, it's you can express them to someone else, if it's your partner or your boss or whatever. And that's a very difficult part, because one thing is to recognize within ourselves, and even to feel the sensation is one thing, and another can be to express that honestly, and even more with partner or a child, or the more the person feels near of us, the more it can be, strangely, the more it's going to be difficult to be really honest. This is melting with fear, this is where it seems to be very complicated, because thought make very complicated, but in a sense, expressing what you feel in the moment neutrally, like just, I feel this without judgment. It's just, I feel this in this, like in this situation, express very neutrally, it's raining today. I feel rage. I want to be at the sun. It's very neutral. It's just I feel something. First, to be honest within our own self. What do I really feel? And then feel this emotion, and then trying to speak the emotion out loud, with not for the purpose to judge or to bring guilt, but I think relationship, that's really the gift of a relationship. It's to feel emotions and to express them. The difficulty is finding the appropriate way to express them in a neutral way, in a way that is not judgmental or bring guilt, But the difficulty in relationship, it's often we are not educated in this, and a lot of adults are very immature. So when I express my emotion, the other can feel attacked or guilt or whatever, and then you have to learn to say, no, but I'm just saying what I feel, But it can be very difficult for the other to hear it. Relationships are very complex, so they're very simple at the same time. They're seemingly complex because everyone is very unique, and then the other person too, and then the context, and then everything. But feeling emotion, it's really key. In a relationship, the really essence, it's to not blame the other and not feel a victim of the other. It's like, whatever I feel, it's my responsibility, whatever it is. I am in a relationship and there is challenge, but whatever I feel, it's my responsibility. As the other is not responsible for what I feel. And then you feel this emotion that is present. If you are with a partner and it's challenging, be very clear that first thought never leave your experience to go to the other person. Like whatever I think right now, whatever I think of you, never reach you. It's always inside. It never leave me. Right? It's always my own thoughts. So that free you from guilt, from attacking the other, but also whatever the other is saying or thinking doesn't reach you either. So in that way, it's one step to kind of be less emotional with whatever the other is saying, because whatever he believes, whatever he says or she says, it never reached me really, only if I want to, but it's there. And the second one, it's an emotion that she or he is having there doesn't leave his experience to enter into my experience. Just as whatever emotion I have here doesn't leave my experience to enter someone else's experience. Yeah, so in that way, it's kind of learning to be responsible of your thoughts and your emotions. And the more you see this, you can be surprised that people can speaking and you feel sensation. Oh wow, this is a sensation. It is there, And then maybe the loop kick in. Oh, there is a loop of thought. And at some point, you can really see that you can express it or not, but really, it's everything has to do with you. So you can really free your partner from the burden to free you or to help you or to anything. A lot of us have grown up with Walt Disney, and all of these movies that trigger some kind of romantic way of being, having a partner of life, of having being married, having children, and being happy forever after. So to kind of inquire into, is that true? Is that really how life is? Is that really what all of this is about? Having a happy marriage and happy children and happy work, and that's it. That's where life ends, really. Well, if you inquire, you see that life is way more complex and rich, and all of these beliefs of how relationship should be or should not be. This is where exploring beliefs are useful, because they are really superimposition into what is actually present. What is a relationship if you forget everything that you watch in movies and everything that people say, and you approach someone that way, like, I don't know, you just, what is this that is here? And, I don't know, but how it's supposed to be. I have no idea how it's supposed, and this can open up other possibilities. When you enter into a relationship, we often, there is some unseen contract that we firm, that we agree. There is a lot of agreement or unspoken agreement in the relationship, right? Like with our partner, it can be, okay, we will have sex, and I will not feel frustration with sex. I will not feel frustration with this, that, and you will give me kids, and you will be a good mother. You will be a good father. You will have money. You will have. So there is all of this unspoken kind of agreement. And because life is complex and everything changes, a lot of those agreements often kind of fall apart and it become messy, all of this. But just to be aware of this, and then to look each time, what do I believe that the other should do for me? And this is where you explore beliefs. And you see, why should anyone understand me? Why should anyone listen to me to begin with? Why? I'm that interesting, really? Can I do I understand myself to begin with? And even if I can understand myself clearly and feel an emotion clearly, do I am able to express it in a clear way to someone else? You see? So when you start to really investigate, everything become very blurry, and often what I found, it's I'm responsible. The responsibility is always here. But again, really, it's not about doing things correctly. It's about to learn to do reparation correctly. Yeah, well, it can be difficult, even more if you have those realization inside a longer in an ongoing relationship, because when you start to have this realization and you start to have kind of deep changes in you, that's where this unspoken agreement start to be revoked. Suddenly, you know, I'm not responsible to make my partner happy. So if one day she's unhappy one day, well, I'm free to be happy, because that's not my responsibility, and I'm here for her. But I'll not be sad because she's sad, because what's the point, you know? And it's her role to find the way that she's happy. It's not my role. So before I was, you know, expecting, oh, you can do this, try this, and now I'm like, she said I'm sad. Oh, can I do something for you? Oh, no, okay, well, see you. You know, I mean, what can I? No, I'm not here to save her. I'm very happy, but I'm not here to save you. So a lot of agreement that to really change. That's why it can become more different, because we learn, because through our conditioning, what we really learn, it's codependence, it's special relationship, which is I want someone which will fulfill all of my walls, or all of my emptiness, all of the part that I'm empty. I want someone which will fulfill this. So the perfect match will be someone rich with someone poor, right? Someone we you know, all of these opposites, you know. If I don't feel confident in myself, I need someone which is confident. You know, if I feel weak, I want someone who is physically strong. Because I want what I don't have, and the other one which will bring me this. But when you start to see that all of this, it's immature, and it's not the way that life works. That's why it's a challenge, because some relationship can grow outside of it, and some others don't, and that's complicated sometimes. But you know, to truly love someone is to have no expectation. To have, I want nothing from you, nothing, and I love you. And that's why everyone loves babies, because babies have no expectation. Literally, they have incapacity of expectation. So when you are in the field of a baby, you feel free, you feel love, you feel everything. But the baby doesn't care about you whatsoever. I mean, if you're not its mom and the father, but it doesn't care what you know. And just you can disappear, and it just will never remember you. It doesn't matter, whatever. But that's what you love, right? So it's But not everyone can really hear it. You know, I don't need you, and I love you. Often it's the opposite. You know, I need you. Don't leave me. I will die without you. But yeah, thought never leave your experience. In the sense that if a friend come into this room and start to talk to me about football, you know, or sport or whatever, I can listen, but my mind, but maybe I will have no sport thoughts coming into me at all. I'll just be, okay, you just speak about something you like, it's fine. Now, if your partners start to enter the room and she start to speak about something else, about money, about sex, about his coworker, which is very strong, and he do this, maybe you will start to think. But it's not. But the thought didn't leave her experience to reach your experience, because somehow it's happening inside you. But in approaching a relationship that way, it free you from the dependency and from the victimization or attack. You know, like. Right now, my partner can enter the room and screaming at me for something, and often I'm not triggered. I'm okay. Well, she's mad, and that's the best way she found to express some need that she have. Can I do something or not? We'll see. But there's not a lot of disturbance in my thoughts. because I'm aware that's her story, and that's the way that she wants to express it, or she can express it in the moment. And I can choose, in a way, to stay within my field, and within my field, in the sense that, okay, well, she wants to speak about laundry or about something, and I don't want to speak about that. So what do? We speak, but it's not an obligation. So now I'm not a victim of the situation. If she enters, I'm not a victim of her mood, of her speech, of her behavior. I can say, look, if you want to speak, I can calm down. I am responsible of how I act. If she enters and she's mad and she screams at me, and I start screaming at her, and after I say, I scream because you scream, no, but I scream because, and then you're in a mess completely, because everyone is responsible of everyone, and it's not like that. So that's why if you think that way, that what I think about someone else, it's in me, and that's also mean that I am the only one who experiences the effect of that thought. Like if I say to my boss, he's stupid, and I think he is stupid, the thought doesn't leave my experience to enter into the thought of my boss, and my boss will feel stupid. No, the thought, because that's how the brain, that's how the mind works. You think he's stupid, and he's stupid, but the brain take back the thought and say, I am stupid, and then I feel stupid. It's a little bit simplistic, but that's kind of the way of thinking and approaching. It's helpful. You can really become immune to almost everything. Because if someone come and say, David, you are stupid, I will check. Do I feel stupid? No. So yeah, okay, I don't feel stupid. Like if someone come and said, David, you are a horse, I will check. I don't feel like a horse. So, okay, so what? I prefer to hear I love you than I hate you, of course. I have preferences, but the hate and the love are your responsibility, not mine. It's inside you, it is love. With this impulse to be with someone and you enjoy it. It can be a friend, can be a lifelong relationship, but just this impulse is present and it arises and you enjoy the relationship. But it's completely different to be with someone with no expectation and to expect something. It's a completely different vibe, completely. Like it would be lovely to meet any of you, to go to have a drink and have a moment, do a bowling or whatever, and then we say goodbye. It's perfect. If we meet and you think that I am your savior and I will give you illumination, well, it will be very, very uncomfortable for me because I cannot do that. So I will not feel comfortable. You see, but it's very different. The approach is completely different. And it's not because everything is in your experience that that life or relationship lose meaning. Often it's quite the opposite. You know, the life is like experience is meaningful. It's deeply meaningful. And it's a very curious. I mean, I don't know if you have children, but in children often you can experience things very interesting, you see, because they often at the beginning they kind of seemingly take a lot of energy and time, and it's kind of very consuming in all dimension. But somehow it's very powerful, and there's not really a clear explanation for that. It's deeply meaningful. But the meaning is not in the baby. The meaning is here. And somehow, yeah. That's where it becomes a little bit paradoxical and nothing is black and white. But you say, I really think that's why we love babies. That's why often nature it's also very nice often, because when we walk in nature, nature doesn't expect us anything. There's no expectation at all about nature. And there is some kind of relief about that, because often when we are with humans, this person, there's always some kind of expectation of fear or whatever. But to be with someone that really doesn't want anything out of you, it can be it is very powerful experience. Because it's not like being with a rock which doesn't want anything, because it's it's aware, but at the same time doesn't want anything of me. Relationship is where the wheel meet the road, right? It's often, you can believe to be enlightened, and after, when you go to your family or in your day-to-day relationship with people, this is where you really see where you are and what's happening. It's not when you are in a mountain, in a cave, when you are in day-to-day life, what's happening. So yeah, there is a lot of juice in the relationship.